people will argue that tourism still brings much needed economic opportunity. We had food vendors cashing out, we had clubs, lounges cashing out, restaurants cashing out, Airbnb cashing out, Uber and Bolt and all these e-hailing cab people cashing out as well. So how do we balance that with the concerns about exploitation? Are there warning signs that we should start looking to for when tourism takes a very problematic turn?
Yeah, absolutely. Once again, it's when it starts to become too concentrated, right? If economics starts to become highly concentrated and there is no element of that benefiting the local populace, that's when it starts to become a problem, right? So it's good when you talk about food vendors and people that have local businesses that can hopefully utilize this incoming traffic and then utilize that to then grow an economy. And the SME sector is obviously extremely important in that, right? You want to make sure that you have an SME economy, which we have an amazing SME economy, on the continent that a lot of people don't know about, which can be utilized as a methodology to create a stronger economy. As you say, Dirty December, I was in Accra during Dirty December, and similar thing, prices kind of go through the roof, restaurant prices go through the roof, hotel prices go through the roof, because then they want to make sure they're capitalizing on these things, right? And obviously, a lot of tourists, some tourists obviously notice this as well, and they feel like they're getting unfairly targeted. I'm a Jamaican national too, and you go to some tourist spots in Jamaica, and there are literally two prices. If you have a Jamaican passport, it's one price, and if you do not have a Jamaican passport, it's another price. So I think that the warning sign is if your economy starts to get to a stage where people can literally go there and exploit dramatically, that's where it ultimately becomes a problem here. You want to be able to have an economy that's able to accept and bring in wealth and bring in, that positive growth from a tourism perspective to grow an economy and utilize that in a positive fashion, like what was done here.